says right here, 100%, 100%. Just it doesn't give you a level.
Oh, slope 1.1.
Yeah.
And then you got to pop the pins in. The pins are up top. Right here. And then the other one's on that pin right there.
So if power was off, give it a twist and it'll go to startup. And then you're going to send a signal. And so we're trying to establish a signal. The next thing is to hit the enable toggle switch. This guy right here. And now you can see that we have a signal. We're green and we're connected. So now you should be able to operate the internet. So the waterway is usually stored in the rescue position so we can quickly get the stick up without the nozzle being in the way for the ladder to get to a windowsill. If you want to put it in water tower operation, it's important that you lock it or pin it into the water tower operation. If we didn't have the aerial in this position right now, you could come along with a hook
And bend that.
push it over.
The axis can change from the x-axis to the y-axis depending on how this back knuckle faces. Does that make sense? Real deep.
Yeah. Like 10, 12%. So now that we've short set the rear right outrigger, you can see we're at 76% of extension, so we could essentially we're at 3/4 extended. That put us in the yellow zone, which is 75 to 95% of capacity. If you look at it on this right hand side, that puts us in a circle. There's circle A, B, C, and D. We're in circle B right now, which correlates to 50 feet of horizontal reach from the ladder. So you can go ahead and fly out over the short set side as long as you don't go beyond 50 feet outside of that. Keep in mind anything within 30 degrees and 0 degrees, you're not affected by that. So the evolution we're going to do right now is the ladder being supplied by another pumper. So we're going to hook up to this aerial inlet LDH outlet. We're going to explain how this works. In this particular setup, we're just using it like truck 11. There's no pump, there's nothing else engaged. We're going to flow water in here up to the nozzle tip. There's only one step that you need to do, and that's to actually open up a valve that will allow that water in the piping to go up. That valve is this one right here. You can cycle through the different screens and find it, but you'll see this little red bubble go up, and we're slowly opening that valve.
When you have 4 greens, you're good.
And when you have 4 greens, you're all the way open, and it's always stored in the closed position. So the electronic valve for the aerial itself is on all 3 panels. You have one on the operator panel, the back of the truck, and up at the pedestal. So the last evolution we did, we had a pumper supplying the aerial. This one we're going to operate as though we're connected to a hydrant. And what we wanted to talk about and clear up any confusion this aerial inlet or LDH outlet, the difference between operating off of a pumper supplying the aerial or you supplying yourself from the hydrant. In this instance, they're going to need to open this valve all the way and open this valve. When we were supplied from a pumper before, we kept this valve closed. That way we're not backfeeding the rest of the system. So this aerial inlet LDH outlet valve, if you get in here and look, it's right off of the discharge. So if another engine was supplying water to the aerial and you open this, the water's going to come back into the system. And I actually just showed Ryan, without this pump set up and running, you could like come along, open up your bumper line, and it's backfeeding from a discharge down to the pump now. Not that that's practical, but it's just an illustration of how the valves are. Start sending water to this valve, which is at the base of the aerial waterway. In order to do that, we first need to open up our LDH or aerial inlet or LDH outlet valve. So we open this. You won't get any water coming out of the ladder yet because we still have to open up the valve that goes to the ladder. And all we did was supplied water past this valve right here. So now it's going to the back of the aerial and up to the base of the ladder. So now we've got water to the base of the aerial. Now we just have to hit this valve to supply as well. So if we wanted to shut down our water tower operations, and we want to switch over to a ground monitor, we're going to shut off the electronic valve feeding the water piping. Then we're going to come back and close down the aerial inlet or LDH outlet temporarily. And the reason why we're doing that is we want to shut it down and take any pressure off of that back cap. So if you follow me. Once we've opened this up and taken the pressure off of the cap, we could connect LDH and then we could run our ground monitor, and then we'll go back to the pump panel. And then we would open this valve to the proper amount of pressure for it